All right, guys. So now I want to cover your course sales and the prices that you're going to be selling your courses at, and talk a little bit about that so you can expect, on a micro level, how much you're going to make per course sale, right? So what are you going to sell these for? Well, to be perfectly honest with you, the majority of your courses are going to sell for $10 to $15. Even when you price them high at like 180 or 200, right? Now, always price them high. That is something that I hit on when we were actually uploading the course and optimizing it for search and everything like that. Always price them high, because Udemy sells by giving discounts, meaning that your landing page is going to convert a lot higher with a discount. So if you list your course at $200, right, it's going to look a lot better psychology wise. And I touched on this a little bit in that past lecture, like we talked about. It's going to look a lot better psychology wise if the person's only getting they're buying a $200 course for $10, right? Then they feel like they're getting a deal. It's going to convert a lot higher. It's just the way Udemy approaches, basically kind of, converting a lot more people on the sale, right? So that actually does make sense, knowing a lot about what I know about sales. There's three things that you really need to convert someone on, and there's three ways to do it, right? There's value, urgency, and price, right? So what you basically want to do is they're creating value, and they're by giving the course away, and if you're creating value essentially when you price it high, right? Then they're creating urgency by giving a coupon code away and basically saying that it's a delayed coupon code. So they might be running their own sale and kind of saying like, hey, you guys can get into this course, within the next 24 to 48 hours or whatever, but you have to act now. And then the course is 10 to $15 or whatever it is, right? So then you've created the value by listing it high. And obviously if the course has good ratings and it's ranked, the value will be there and it will be obvious, right? They're creating the urgency by giving away the coupon code, selling it for about 10 to $15. And then obviously the price goes in with that urgency and value. So those are the three main factors, and that's why your conversion rates will be pretty high, when people find you organically through Udemy search, and they also suggest you to other people and people hit your landing page, right? So that's a good thing that your courses are going to sell that way. It's just the way that Udemy promotes them, and it's the way that Udemy is going to push your courses, and there's a reason they do that, because it works, right? It works for their bottom line, which then in turn works for yours as well. So you will, however, sell some courses at your max, right? So if you list a course at like $200, every once in a while, you might sell a course for $200 on Udemy. Now, that is very rare in my opinion. I think I've happened to notice like once or twice that a course has sold for like a decent amount, maybe like a $50 or like $100. Or I don't think I've ever actually noticed a $200 sale, for my $200 courses, but there very easily could have been one that slipped by me. I don't check it all the time. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's good to list it high, because you can potentially get a sale like that. And you'll also see other sales like $50 sales and potentially $100 sales if you're listing a course at a high, price. But those are rare in my opinion. The majority, like I said, of your courses will sell $10 to $15 on the site. So you want to list them high so that Udemy can market them and promote them right and establish that value and urgency with the coupon codes, right? You also want to list them high so that you can give away coupon codes and convert your audience higher. And you also want to list them high just in case you make those high sales. If you make like one or two, $200 sales every month, like I said, I haven't noticed them, but let's say hypothetically you make one $200 sale every month, right? That's another free $200 in passive income that you made just because you're listing your course at $200 and not $80, right? So you always want to do that, but keep in mind, like I said, to hit it home, the majority of courses will sell for $10 to $15 because, to be perfectly honest, the majority of students that are on Udemy and already know a lot about the platform and have bought other courses on the platform are constantly seeing deals and constantly seeing sales run. So they're going to know that there's pretty much always a sale going on, and they're usually only willing to pay about $10 to $15. Sometimes it's like $20. Sometimes I'll buy a course for like $19.99. But the majority of people that are Udemy students, like I said, know that there's always a coupon code running. So the chances that you're going to sell a course for like $200 all the time is not very, reliable. You'll sell a lot of them for very cheap at like $10 to $15, sometimes $20. But the majority of people that are taking this course and the majority of people that are watching this are looking to capitalize off Udemy traffic, capitalize off the almost said 200 million. 20 million plus students, and like I touched on in a previous lecture, that was like 2 years ago that I found that number. It very well could be like 30 to 40 million now, but you're capitalizing off their millions and millions and millions of student base already. So you're getting free marketing, you're capitalizing off their free students already, and not only are you capitalizing off the course sales and passive income of the students on their platform, and not only are they marketing and selling your courses for you while you're not doing anything, more importantly, you can actually take their students and morph them over to your own platform, right? I would not have grown on YouTube as fast. I would not have grown my Instagram or my Facebook page as fast if I weren't slowly kind of moving, and for lack of a better word, stealing Udemy students as my own potential customers, right? I'm taking those people, getting them on Udemy, which it's very, very easy to acquire students on Udemy, like, I'll show you in this course and this specific module, and then you can take those people and those 20 plus million students that you have access to and morph them over to your other platforms to sell them in the future, right? So there's so many great advantages to selling on Udemy. Don't look at it and be like, oh, you're only going to make 10 to 15 bucks. Why would you invest it? Because it's not hard to scale that up at all. And I do it every single month, and I network with other instructors who do it as well. Put a lot of effort into it and treat it like a business. And if you treat it like a business, you create good content and you reward your customers, and you're basically, like I said, treating it like a legitimate business and not just something where you can throw something up and, hope that it sticks against the wall. It will reward you back, and it will reward you kindly. So you're going to get higher conversion rates like we talked about. We talked about all that other stuff, but I highly recommend that you stick with this. There's a lot of potential there, trust me. It's not hard to make good money with that, right? So 100 course sales, at $10 every single month is very, very low, and that's going to earn you about 1K, right? I earned 1K, I think. The very first month that I started on Udemy, I had one course, and I think I earned like $50, and it was terrible. But that was back when I literally slapped it up. I didn't know anything about it. It was just kind of like I was still working a part-time job, and I was still in college, and I just happened to put a course up on Udemy. I thought to myself, I'm going to try this, and it happened to materialize. I saw that I could make passive income with it. And then I got serious, and then in the second month, I think I made like $250 or $260 or something like that. And then the third month, it skyrocketed up to like $1,100, or like it was like $1,050, and then the next month it was like $2,000. So it's a very rapid scaling process, but you have to treat it like a business, and I didn't necessarily do that the first 2 months. All this stuff is stuff that I've accumulated knowledge-wise in the past 2 years, basically teaching on Udemy and making good passive income every single month that can sustain my lifestyle. So obviously you're getting a much, much bigger and better head start than I had 2 years ago. But that just shows you the scalability and how easy it is to do this. So like I said, 100 sales at $10 every single month is going to be 1K. 500 sales, which I make constantly on Udemy, at $10 is 5K, right? Now, if you make 200 sales at $15, that's going to be 3K a month, right? Now, in any mix and match in between there. So let's say you make like one sale that's $200, one sale that's $50, 50 sales that's, 50 sales that's at $10. Now we're sitting at like 500, 550, what is it? 550, 750 now, right? And then obviously you can add on some more $15 sales, right? So it's not hard to scale this up and make multiple thousands of dollars. It's actually very, very simple, but you have to stick with it, and you have to give value and good content and treat it like a business. And if you do that, I promise you, this will pay off massive dividends, not just this month, not just next month, but for the years to come for you guys. So, for example, to give you, just touch on an example really fast, I'm approaching about 190,000 students at the time of creating this lecture. And so if I send out a promotional email, before we were just talking about like organic course sales, right? So let me show you the power of actually accumulating students. Obviously, you're not going to have 190,000 students right away. So I have about 190 students, or 190,000 students. So if I send out a promo email, right, you get 2 promotional emails. If I send out 2 promotional emails, and one of those, to give you an example of a breakdown of statistics, right, of what it potentially looks like at 190,000 students. So let's say that 20% of the people opt out of promotional emails, because you can opt out as a student of promotional emails, because if you constantly get hit with promotional emails from instructors all the time, that's why they limit you to only 2 a month as an instructor, then chances are some people are going to opt out. I love them because I get to see what other instructors are kind of pitching and how they're going about it, so I can differentiate myself. So let's say that 20% of those people opted out immediately. That leaves you with 150,000 students, right? Or 152,000 students left that haven't opted out. So let's assume that you get a very, very, very low open rate of 10% of those 152,000 students. That's very low. I would say that you're probably going to get like 20 to 30, maybe on bad days 10 to 15%. So let's assume the absolute lowest at 10%, right? So that's still 15,200 people that are going to open and read that potential email, right? Now let's assume also a very, 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 very low conversion rate of 1%, right? Let's assume the absolute lowest amount. So let's assume that only 1% of those 15,200 people that read it, opened and read the email, Only 1% of them converted. That's 152 people, right? Well, 152 people times 10 is 1,520 bucks. Pretty easy, right? Pretty easy to make money with a promotional email once you've scaled up and you have 190,000 students, right? I just want you to understand the scalability of this. A lot of people, when I talk about Udemy, before I created this course, I would literally pitch it to like everybody that I networked with. They're like, why are you creating content for Udemy when you can just create a course like this for, on Teachable, right? And it's a valid point in a lot of ways, but what those people don't understand is the scalability factor and the access to the customers on Udemy. Where else am I going to get access to 190,000 people ready to buy marketing courses that already know who I am, know, like, and trust me, and I have email access to, like this? There really isn't another opportunity like that. Even on YouTube, I have like 16,000 subs, right? I have like on any given time, I have like 1,000 to 2,000 people that haven't opted out on my email list, right? So there's no other place where you can basically acquire customers and then steal their customers and morph them over to your own content while making money like this passively every month doing so. So I highly recommend that you take this seriously. And with that being said, we're going to jump into the next lecture, but there's a lot of scaling potential here.